Here we are. The end of Squid Games forever. I went into this season over the moon. Episode 1 was classic Squid Games. I loved it. I was really animated. Hell, I started a reaction channel right after. And look where we are now. We got CGI Baby, the new main character of Squid Games. We got every character dying. We got all the side plots never converging. We got Captain Park and his little boat side mission not amounting to anything. They're still on the way. I'm just gonna jump into it. It's been fun, but there's been some questionable choices. So let's see if they land it. Let's do this. I hope they don't show up on the island. I hope they never get there at this point.
어디입니까? 그 섬.
Where is the island? Fuck!
저기.
Too little, too late, bro.
참가자들은 다음 단계로 이동해 주시기 바랍니다.
The title is Humans Are. Let's find out. What are humans? Let's find out. Squid Game's gonna tell us. I've always wanted to know, honestly.
아이만 넘겨.
그럼 다음 단계엔 너와 이 아이 둘 중 하나가 탈락해야 돼.
알고 있어.
Yeah, bro.
설마
This guy watched The Circle. He's just like the guy in that
이
movie.
아이를 죽이고
Looks like 333 has found the safest and surest way to win this game.
잠시 가보셔야겠습니다.
The VIPs, bro. Isn't a lot of this gonna be evidence? You don't want to burn everything, right?
우리가 못 건너가면 너도 죽어.
Wait, but they always will have a winner, though.
그럼 여기서 다 같이 죽든가.
Oh, dang. He wants all the money or none of it. What? He doesn't need that much money. Come on.
해경에 연락했어요. 여기 위치 보냈으니까 2시간 안에 이쪽으로 올 겁니다.
Oh my god, bro. I would have bet anything that they would have showed up before the last episode of Season 3.
내가 탈락자가 돼줄게.
그렇게 슬쩍 넘어와서 난 밀어 죽이고 혼자서 상금 다 처먹으려고. 내가 왜 이런 족 같은 데까지 온 줄 알아?
Because you trusted a guy named Thanos, bro.
시간 없어.
그러니까 족가는 소리 하지 말고 애 다리 위에 올려놔.
Okay, knife foreshadowing. 30 seconds. Was about to fucking throw the knife like an assassin, bro, like John Wick. He's an action hero. Bro, he did the parkour roll and everything. We have no fire alarms in this building. We probably should have known about this in Season 2. Maybe we did. Am I stupid? But I feel like we found our last episode. The acting remains so good. Like I said, this guy self-reported way too soon, bro. Oh, the stairs, the stairs. No, what? Yo, the one arm on the bar? Crazy. Watch, the baby's gonna press the button. Alright. Gion won the Squid Games.
Whoa, Peter, someone is climbing back up.
No one's ever won it twice before, right?
Didn't I say at some point the baby's gonna win the fucking Squid Games? Oh, okay. I see. They're both gonna make it out still. But it's gonna be because the frontman's fucking brother is finally gonna get here. Oh, just kidding. They're chilling. They don't give a shit. I mean, he's inside with the scuba gear. That Squid Games branded drone. We got our own merch. Remember when the show was extremely unpredictable?
마지막 게임이 시작되었습니다.
Y'all remember that?
제한 시간은
Come on. Go to the VIP room. Come on, go to the VIP room. Clean the house, bro. We didn't do the pole strats, but maybe we can do this.
Some goodbyes take time.
Not this much time, y'all. Not this much time. Not a third season worth of time. She's just gonna watch? Is he looking at me?
우리 말이 아니야.
Reference to
사람이야.
the horse racing in the first season.
사람은
(456번) 탈락.
철수 시작해.
Was it the self-destruct button? What the fuck? Is that really how it ends?
신원이 확인되었습니다.
My brain's not working. I don't know what to say. Fuck you! And your subplot. What does he see?
왜 그랬어?
Well, if he doesn't say the most profound thing I ever heard right now, nope. He's just gonna go down the elevator.
(10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1)
They really had a self-destruct for the fucking Squid Games. They're just gonna open it up again somewhere else, bro. I bet y'all are cheering right now. This is who we really wanted to survive the Squid Games. These were our favorite characters from the start, right?
쪽 사세요?
They were also the deepest,
아니요.
the most well written,
그럼 혹시
the most compelling,
한번 그려드린 적 있었나요?
right?
아니요. 왜요?
Big dub for Squid Games.
아 왔어.
And she recovered. Just because he's alive, she recovered. That's how it works, guys.
찍었네.
남남북녀 방만철이야. 누구시 딸 찾아주던 사람.
Oh my god, bro.
너무 놀라지
Yes, dude. This is all I cared about this whole season, bro. I wanted to know if her daughter was okay.
아직 확실한 건 아닌데.
Big dub for Squid Games. Let's go.
일치하는 데가 많아.
That's what the whole story was about. The whole time, bro. We all knew it.
이거 맛있다.
Look at he's smiling, bro. That happy ending, bro. Squid Games is solved. It's finished, dude. We did it. They blew themselves up. How nice of them.
제가 줄어들 것 같아?
이제 뭐 하실 거예요?
글쎄.
몇 년간 딱지 치는 놈만 찾으러 다녔는데 막상 다 끝났다니까.
This is all I ever wanted. I wanted 222's baby to be given to the frontman's brother. There's no other way this season could have gone, dude. The story just wrote itself, you know? Why do you wait 6 months for this? What the fuck was he doing in the meantime? Why isn't this guy more confused? How the fuck could a baby win the Squid Games? You should be saying.
인사해야지.
I'm so glad we got to come back to these characters. I'm so glad. W show.
주라.
I couldn't have wanted a different
많이
ending.
컸구나.
Not in a million years. This kid. My favorite character.
미안하다.
오늘아 고생 많이 하셨어.
소장의 메시였습니다.
What a beautiful ending.
바로 여기 있습니다.
여보세요?
나 남남북녀 방만철이야. 똘씨 나가는 날이 오늘이었어?
네. 지금 공항이에요.
꼭 찾아서 와야 돼.
What a poignant ending.
감사합니다.
Rich. Rich with meaning. Truly, we live in a society. That's what I learned from this.
이거 싹 다 고쳐서 라스베가스 호텔처럼 한번 만들어 보자.
They got their own hotel, bro.
이 동네 술집도
Yes,
많고 노래방도
dude.
많고.
Isn't that what I've been saying this whole season, bro? I can't wait for them to get the pink hotel. Fuck yeah, dude. We're in LA. The only appropriate final scene. If it is even the final scene, who knows how much time we have left. I'm not gonna check. Oh, he stole the money to give it back. Whatever, bro. Whatever, bro.
누구세요?
Big reveal. Yeah, everything's forgiven. He's actually a good guy now. He transferred the money. That's the real. That's just what we all wanted, right? That's what Squid Games is all about. It's about leaving generational wealth for your own family. That's what it's been around. That's what it's been about from the start.
성균씨께서 돌아가셨습니다.
He left you a bloody outfit. You're welcome. It was always about the money. Squid Game has always been about the money, right, guys? The whole point of the end of the first season is that he didn't want to use the money for anybody. But now we know. Now that we've seen season 3, we know he should have just given it to his family the whole time. That's the lesson. American Squid Game spin-off being teased. Fuck, I forgot her name. Why is she here? What's he thinking? What does he think about this? We'll never know. Roll up the window and fuck off. We already knew there were other Squid Games around the world, didn't we? Kate Blanchett is her name. I forgot. I'm gonna collect my thoughts, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna review this masterpiece. I lied. I didn't collect my thoughts. I just made some noodles. You know, Squid Game Season 3. Like I said, the acting, fantastic. As always. Every character brought the A game. The director directed them perfectly. The acting is great. The way they intertwined the characters and had them recombine into all sorts of interesting ways, you know, they had certain connections, and then if they died off, you know, they would get connected to other characters, and it always made sense, and it always felt natural. The games were interesting. They were all, you know, they had me on the edge of my seat. But here's why people like Squid Game in the first place. It's because it wasn't just about that. It was shining the light on us as the VIPs, as people just wanting to watch people play these games out. And it was giving that commentary. That's what everybody loved. It spoke to what people were feeling about society and how we get fucked over by, you know, the bitter, power-hungry, you know, leaders of the world. They have no faith in people, and they want to project that lack of faith and that evil within them onto everybody else. And then they make Squid Games, and they rig it so that everything happens the way they want, and then they be like, oh well, it's because, you know, you can never trust humans anyways. You know, we have no blame in this. Everybody's evil, so why not us? But then you get to Squid Game Season 3, and it kind of unravels. By the end of the season, the Squid Games were just playing out. And yeah, they had this like weird attempt to try to have some sort of new message put into it, like, you know, I don't know, the innocence of kids. But it just didn't work out, you know. I mean, they just had this CGI baby in the middle of it. And, you know, I couldn't really tell what they were trying to do. And then Gi-hun, everything people were mad about in the last season, the frontman's brother not getting to the island by the end of Season 2. And then he got to the island at the end of Season 3. And all he did is ask the frontman the same question he asked in Season 1 to no answer, and then he leaves. Gi-hun not really being the main character, that was also not fixed. I mean, they already shot the whole thing before they released it, but you know. At the end of Season 2, we had so many characters that were built up so well and characterized so well that I was actually sure that they were going to somehow bring down the games, they were going to get to the island, expose it, and save most of these characters. Not because, you know, you shouldn't kill off characters, but because why would you have so many? It's like in the first season, everything hit so hard because they had a few characters that they focused on. And so every time that they were killed off, it hit all the harder. But when you get to Season 3, and all these characters that you care about just start dying off one by one, and you realize, okay, it's just going to be Gi-hun at the end again, then it's like the blow gets softened, and I didn't really care by the time all these characters that last season I would have cared a lot if they died. But now it's just like, okay, well, I guess they're all going to have to. And they didn't really orchestrate it with that same level of effectiveness as they did with, say, the Marvel game, or the level of personal investment, you know, with the last game. In Season 1, Gi-hun personally knew the guy he was playing Squid Games with in the last game, Sang-woo. In this one, it's just like, okay, he promised somebody about their baby. You know, it's this other guy that was the sus among us. You know, it's just not the same. And you could argue, maybe that's the point. The point is, you know, this institution always wins. You know, you can't find the island. It's too rigged against you. You can't win the Squid Games. But if that's the point, they should have said the point. Instead of having the VIPs say all this other like spoon-fed bullshit, you know, maybe Gi-hun says, you know, the rest of the sentence at the end. He's like, oh, we're not horses, humans are, and then he fucking kills himself. Humans are what if they're not horses? Because you're not exactly proving them wrong in that moment. You're playing for them. And then we get the ending. The characters that I didn't care about through the whole season, they live. And again, you could argue, actually that's the point, you know. Life's not fair. It's actually deep. But the show contradicts this. The Squid Games blow themselves up. You know, if their point was that the institution is too powerful and you can't beat it, I mean, they kind of beat it. They ended that Squid Game apparently at the beginning in episode 2. I was like, the show doesn't kill off characters for no reason. You know, in fiction, you know, I have to say I hate this argument the most when people say, oh, the character died randomly. Well, in real life, people just die randomly. This is not real life. This is fiction. In fiction, your deaths have to be for a reason. If you really could just kill characters randomly and make the argument, then it makes sense. Because real life, people die randomly, then give me the Oscar. I'll make a story. I'll make 1 billion characters. I'll kill them all off in random ways, and I'm supposed to be the most genius writer by that argument. So I think that they tried to subvert expectations a little too far. They mostly, I mean, all credit to the director. You know, I saw the interviews. He was worked to the bone. He didn't want to make this season. Again, you could say maybe that's the point. We're actually the problem. We're the audience is the problem. We never should have gotten season 2 or 3 of Squid Games. We forced him to when that wasn't the point. We wanted to see more Squid Games when the point was to not see, you know, all these characters die for our entertainment. So, but then don't make it, I guess, or make it, but at least stick. You know, they were trying to go in a new direction. At the very least, you could have just repeated the same exact message of the first season, and people would have been more happy than with whatever, you know, this was, with the ending where it's like wrapping up everything that we didn't want to see wrapped up, and ignoring everything that we did want to see wrapped up. I still had fun watching it, but I can see why the response has not been glowing to this. There was still a lot to like. There were still some great parallels. You know, it's not easy to weave all these parallels with the first season into these second 2 seasons. It's not easy writing all these characters so well with their interactions with each other, with the dialogue. The dialogue was still mostly good except for the VIPs, which were here for the last 3 episodes. What else? What did I miss? You let me know what I missed, bro. Episode 1 was great. Episode 2 was great. Season 2 was great, but they just got caught up in trying to end it in some you know, whatever the fuck this ending was. Ultimately, we have learned the wrong lesson from Squid Game. Everybody wanted season 2 and 3. Mr. Beast turned Beast Games into exactly what Squid Game warned us about, and then Squid Game in turn turned the last game into Beast Games. What a world. What a wild world. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
And this is where I put
Outro.
If I had